We're going live on the campus of IUP. This is FCA. You can't see it, but there's got to be 100 kids in here from all sports. And we're going to talk tonight very practically about your future. And I want to talk to you about some business principles and things you can do with Christ to better yourselves and to get ahead in this career. Now, I want to ask you guys a question before I start. Let me say this like a story. When I was a freshman and I came here in 1977, I didn't have a care in the world. I played a little bit of varsity, not enough to letter. I thought I was a big man. And graduation was years away. I wasn't thinking about my career. My sophomore year, I started thinking a little bit about what's going to happen. Then my junior year, I started thinking even more. My senior year is even worse. And I didn't have a plan at all, so I went to grad school. And I was offered an internship, and I did this thing in the business school. And then after that, I did some things to help me get a job. But I really didn't have a plan. What I hope I can help you guys tonight with is how to have a plan, so that you'll be making great progress towards your future life outside of this institution, so you can be out there doing your thing and even coming back and supporting your alma mater. So this won't be the typical sermon you're going to hear in a church. I'm going to give you some, I hope, solid business principles about things you can do to help better yourselves for your career with Christ. Okay, can we do that? Will that be all right? Sure. So I hope all those thank you notes get filled out tonight, because you get one or two good ideas. That's what I'm really hoping for. So we're going to start this up. Let's see if I can do this right. Liz, what do? I probably didn't turn it on. But we're on Facebook Live. Okay. All right, so here we go. So my glory days, right there. Number 65. How about those shoulder pads? How big are those shoulder pads? Those are nasty big, aren't they? You guys are so fast now, you wear those light little things. We had the big stuff. We had the nasty headgear on. That was my deal. I was number 65, and I was a DJ. I could throw it down. The locker room played my music, all right, and it was good. I had the funk going, a little rock and roll, not too much, more dance music. And I did the Mr. IUP thing. But the point is, I thought I was big. And it was all about me. My world was real small, and I was in the middle of it, and I thought I was something special. I didn't know Jesus. I would not have been at the FCA meeting unless some of the guys invited me. Then I might have come. But I did go to church, as the video said, because I thought it would help me play better. I transacted with God when I was your age. When I needed Him, I would call upon Him. But if I didn't need Him, I was doing my own thing. I'm really excited about the relationship you guys have with Him. But I didn't quite have that yet. But I did go to class. And I graduated, then I did grad school. So I did know, I think that's McElhaney Hall. I think I used to go there. Anybody have business classes in there? Well, you guys go to Eberly now, but that's where I went to school. All right, so this was my plan. Keep calm and party on. I was spinning the records. Back then, vinyl was all we had. You guys talk about vinyl. That's a throwback. That's all we had back then. We were spinning some vinyl, but I was keeping calm, partying on. But that gnaw in my stomach was bothering me, because I knew the end was coming and I didn't have a plan. Okay? By the grace of God, I was able to start a company. I have Henry Wealth Management. My brother and I are partners. And by the grace of God, 4 years ago, I started the Phil Henry Power Gospel. And you just saw that video on the right side. I got 3 videos we've done about IUP. So I hope you check out our website and watch some of these videos, and you'll see IUP on there. We've done 100 messages. There's 3 of them about IUP. All right? But now let's talk about you guys. I want this to be your plan. Okay? Keep calm and prospect on. Keep calm and interview, get internships, find a job, and do all that while you're keeping calm because you trust Christ. I'd like that to be your plan. Can I hear amen to that? Amen. All right, say it loud so my Facebook people can hear it. Amen. All right, see, they're all in. This is what I want to be your plan, okay? I want to talk to you about 10 keys. 10 keys. 4 of them are going to be about being the right person. And 6 of them are going to be about doing the right thing. Now, you've all heard this in church. You've heard about pray and then leave it at the foot of the cross, right? You've heard that before, right? And that's partly what you got to do. But sometimes you've also heard pick up your cross, right? Follow me. I'm going to talk to you tonight about picking up your cross, picking up the pace, picking up the activity so you can be pressing towards your future career. And you know what? When you got some things lined up, Jacob, you got a job lined up, don't you? You feeling pretty good about that? This your last semester, right?
No, I have 3 more.
3 more, but you got the job, all internship and a job. You're going to Minneapolis.
Yes, sir.
He's going in the summer. They're going to fake him out. Wait till December comes. All right? But you feel good about that, right? You worked hard to get to that point. So I want all of you to feel like Jacob because you got things lined up, activity. You'll feel good about your activity. Don't go anywhere, Jeff Arnold. We're going to talk about you later. You know that, right? All right, I got Jeff. All right? So,
I think your dad's calling.
he came to every game. My dad, I don't know if you see this. On game day, my dad would tell my parents, my dad would tell my mom and my sibs, we're leaving at 9:30 for the game. So 9 a.m. he says, come on, let's go. We're leaving now. Hurry up. We got to get there. My dad had to be here 2 hours early. So I always loved that about him. Anyways, let's talk about you guys. Being the right person. First thing is reputation. We got a big contrast on that screen, don't we? Walter Payton was a great success, Hall of Fame, Super Bowl champion, and he was a community guy. He did things, he served others, so much so that they've actually named the highest award you can earn as a player off the field is called the Walter Payton Award. Okay? That's his reputation. AB, I'm a Steeler guy. I love what AB could do on the field. He was a train wreck off the field. Now, was it because he got hit? I don't know. But I'm saying the reputation took a serious hit, didn't it? Now, I hope he gets it back. I hope the guy can play on the field again. But what's your reputation going to be? You ever hear of Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time? Warren Buffett said, it takes 20 years to build your reputation. You can ruin it in 5 minutes because of decisions that we make. Decisions. Okay? Paul said to Titus in the book of Titus, in the same way, encourage the young men and the young women to be self-controlled in everything. Make yourself an example of good works with integrity and dignity. Self-control is the key. And that's going to have a reputation, a good reputation. You want to build on the reputation. Okay? If the reputation was tarnished, rebuild it. Start now. You're in the right place to do that, by the way. And you guys are model citizens. I'm proud of every one of you for being here and the involvement you have in FCA. And you are to take this light and shine it to the rest of campus. Amen? Amen. Okay? But think about your reputation. These are 4 things you need to be. You need to have a good reputation. Next, appearance. Appearance. We're all cash tonight. It's all good. Okay? But there comes a time when you're going to be talking to someone about your future, about your job. You got to show up like you're serious. You can't be walking in with the sweats and whatever, the headphones on, the hoodie. No. We got to clean it up. Appearance, very important. Before someone hears a word out of your mouth, before they have anything you have to offer, they're going to make a judgment about your appearance. Right? Let it be a good one. Let it be a good one. Okay? Let's talk about appearance for a second. According to workcron.com, you don't get a do-over on a first impression. What you wear tells the interviewer if you're taking this job serious or not. Okay? Secondly, my buddy Russ Collette. Is he clean? Look at this guy. Went to school with me. Clean. Class of '84. Secret Service. He guarded Bill Clinton. He guarded George Bush. Now he's a VP at the Art Institute of Chicago. He says, I don't dress for the job I have. I dress for the job I want. That's Russ Collette. Okay? Peter said, clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility towards one another. Now that's an internal attitude, right? But let the way you dress be humble, be respectful, dress for the job, dress for the occasion, dress for the job you want. Appearance. You're going to have a reputation. That's what people have heard about you. Appearance is what they see. These are things we need to be. right? Next, let's talk about speech. Speak clearly. Enunciate. Articulate. Before anybody processes what you're saying, they're going to hear how you say it. Okay? Now, I know some guys have lazy speech. You know what I'm saying? Right? You understand? That might be cool walking down Pratt Hall or wherever you guys go. That's not going to cut it in an interview. So the way you speak now is the way you're going to speak in the interview. Think about it. You're here for your future. Do everything you can to stack the deck in your favor. The reputation, the way you look, the way you speak, enunciate. Okay? Know what I'm saying? All right, good. Here's what it says about speech. Psalm 19, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Titus 2:8, show yourselves in all respect to be a model of good works. In your teaching show integrity, dignity, and sound speech. That's what you say, but it's also how you say it. These are things we need to be, right? Reputation, appearance, speech. One more. Respect. Do you show respect? Are you firm handshake? Come on, give it up. Right here. What's your name?
Jack.
What?
Jack.
Jack. Nice job, Jack. Good shake. Like Jack. Handshake. Look him in the eye. Say my name. The confidence that you will show when you walk up to somebody, say, Mr. Henry, nice to meet you. And if I say, call me Phil, you go, okay, Phil, I will. Okay? Saying someone's name is very powerful, and it shows great confidence on your part when you say someone's name. Guess what? When you say their name, guess what else happens? You tend to remember it. That shows great respect. So these are 4 very important things. Philippians 2 says about respect, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility value others above yourself. And it says in Luke 6:31, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's showing great respect to others. All things being equal, the young man, the young lady that walks in, looks them in the eye, shakes hands, says their name, shows great respect, is dressed well, gets the job. Yes? What can you do to stack the deck in your favor? These are real simple. You just got to do them. Okay? So these are about being the right person. Now I want to talk to you about 6 things about doing. This is picking up the cross and doing it. Okay? These are business principles, but I'm going to try to tie some spiritual principles to them. Let's talk about these. Okay, so far, okay, here's our review. Reputation, appearance, speech, respect. Let's move on now. Habits. Where's Coach Joe? He snuck in on me. He's back there. Did a great job today, you and Scotty, with the prayer breakfast. Great leadership. But Joe says you will play the way you practice. Michelle Tortorella's in here. She's representing the coach, right? That's that guy right there. These are my guys. I love these guys. You guys play football, basketball. I follow you guys. You know that. Other sports, I hope you all do well. I watch the tweets. I read things. But I know the football and basketball team, I know it's all about practice. You're not messing around, are you? Everything's scheduled, detailed, disciplined. That's how we're going to play. And the record shows. But this has to be the way it is with your career. The things we're talking about today, we got to form these habits, okay? And because you're going to play the way you practice, okay? I walked into a CrossFit gym on vacation at Hilton Head, and I saw this sign. I asked my wife, take my picture. I'm going to use this in a power message. And I did. Okay? The way you do anything is the way you'll do everything. Right? The way you practice is the way you're going to play. The way you treat people now is the way you'll treat people in an interview situation, or when you meet somebody influential that can help you in your career. So treat everybody with respect. Do it all the time. Then it'll just become second nature. You won't have to put your game face on. It'll be on. Right? Is this making sense? Am I speaking to any of you guys? Okay. How about the girls softball team? You all softball players back there? All right? All right. And is this a good pitch? All right. All right. All right. Now, habits. My man, Jesus Christ, had great habits. Look at this. Luke 4:16, he went, as he was brought up, was his custom on the Sabbath day to read in the synagogue. He was going to church. He was reading in church. That was his habit. He knew what to do. He did it all the time. Luke 5:16, he often withdrew himself to secluded private places to pray. He read, he went to church, he prayed. It was his habit. And we're called to be what? Doers of the word and not hearers only. Everybody say, be doers of the word.
Doers of the word.
And not a hearer only. Habits. Habits, right? Now, let's get into some meat now. We got 4 more to go. Networking on campus. Here's a professor, we got students. This guy has 25 kids in his class, whatever, let's say. And 5 of you all he really likes. You know why he likes 5 out of 25? How'd they become his favorites? Tell me, somebody. What'd they do to become the guy's favorite?
Or walked in and introduced himself to the professor first.
Introduce himself to the professor.
First class, first day.
First class, first day. Tell me your first name again.
Leonard Robinson.
Leonard Robinson the third. I know that.
Nice to meet you,
Okay.
man.
Thank you. Oh, look at this guy. Stand up right here. This guy's a model. Look at him. Come here. Come up here. Come here. Come here. I want the Facebook people to see you. Come here. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
Come on. Come on. Look at this guy.
I'm down here. It's always good to have some.
Thank you. Thank you. My man. Walk into class first day. I'm Leonard Robinson, Jr. Professor. Nice to meet you. How about if you're on time? How about if you're asking questions? That's right, 10 minutes early, you're late. Tort make you do burpees if you're on time, right? You gotta be early. You're in class. You're involved. You're participating. You're helping other students. You're volunteering for assignments. Why is that important? Because you're going to learn, first of all. Secondly, this guy probably owns a business. Maybe sold a business. Maybe he's involved in a corporation. He's got friends that are. This guy could be the key, this professor, to your future. He's going to help his favorites. He'll help everybody, but he really wants to help his favorites. When I get a letter of recommendation across my desk and I read it, I can tell immediately if it's a form letter, you're all going to get a form letter, or if it's a heartfelt personal note from someone who loves you. And you proved yourself in their classroom. Be that guy, be that girl that proves themselves in the classroom. This guy has a lot of power as a professor to help you, as do all the administrators around here, the boosters, people coming to watch you. So when I'm on the sideline, not because it's me, I don't deserve anything, but because it's you, come up and greet me, greet the other alumni, shake hands, introduce yourself, ask what year I played, and then say this: you look like you could still play. I don't care if you're lying, it feels good to hear it. All right? I'm telling you, that takes you so far. Because it's real easy to just put the tune in, hoodie on, keep going. I'm tired, I had a game. Be that person that makes the extra effort. And people like this professor can be a great help to you if you earn it. Amen? Okay? That's networking on campus. All right? Guess what? You're an athlete, that's good. You're a business major, get in the business club. You're an art major, be in the art club, be in the theater. Do other things. Don't just hang with your boys and your girls. Stretch out. Do other things that are going to be helpful to your major. Guess what? You can't build your resume second semester senior year. You should start building it first semester freshman year. How many freshmen are in here? This is amazing. You guys can do these things and like have a street paved of gold when you graduate because of all the things you've built and done. So I hope you take this to heart. Now, next, networking off campus. My dad, game day. You think my dad wasn't coming down on the sideline? He had no sideline pass. My dad came down. My dad knew all the coaches. He just was a people guy. Guess what? My dad was that way his whole life. My dad grew up in Morningside, Pittsburgh, Central Catholic High School. How many Central guys do we have? Anybody? Any Central Catholic people? We've had a few. All right. Duquesne University. Had jobs, when Joe lived in Pine Township, Coach Lombardi, he knew my dad. My dad's a supervisor in Pine Township. My dad has collected hundreds of people throughout the years. He keeps in touch with them, he loves them. So when I was struggling with my career, not sure what to do, I talked to my dad. Okay? And my dad said, look, you can talk to this guy, and this guy. Now the reason all those people would speak to me was because when I was 16 years old, in high school, when I was in college, I took the time to talk to my dad's friends, look them in the eye, shake their hands, ask them questions. I didn't even realize what I was doing back then. But then when I was 22 years old and needed a job and I asked them for their help, they all would sit down and talk to me and help me. It wasn't like I just showed up at the end and said, can you help me? I was trying to be the right person without even really realizing what I was doing. And they said, sure, I'll help you. And they were my dad's friends. You have people in your life, your parents, your older siblings, your uncles, your aunts. And if you show great kindness and respect to them, interested in what they're doing, asking them questions about their career, they're going to want to help you. But here's the thing. No one's lying in bed right now saying, I got to help Jimmy, I got to help Jill. They don't have a job, they're a junior at IUP. They're not doing that. But if you ask them for help, they will help you. So be the right person. So when it comes time to ask, they'll want to help you, right? You're networking on campus and off campus, okay? Let's talk about LinkedIn, number 8. How many of you, raise your hand real high, right? None of this stuff right here. Don't give me this. I want you all in, commit. How many of you have a LinkedIn profile? Get it up high, come on, real high. How many of you have come on, leave it up there. How many of you have a professional photograph of yourself on LinkedIn? How many of you have a description of the job you want? How many of you have 100 contacts on LinkedIn? How many of you have 200 contacts on LinkedIn? How many of you have 300 contacts? My man.
I think I have like 274.
Well, you have 300 tonight. Good job. What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, good job.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not beating anybody up. I'm encouraging. LinkedIn is so powerful, so important. Anybody I'm going to do business with at all, whether I want to do business with them, they want to do business with me, I'm looking on their LinkedIn profile, they're looking on mine. Okay, is it updated? Is it fresh? Is it relevant? Okay, how many connections do I have? Who am I connected? And guess what? It's kind of nice when I get like somebody wants to do wealth management with Henry Wealth, and let's just say they work at PPG. And so I go into PPG and I say, hey, I didn't know this prospect guy, he knows 6 other people I know. That's pretty good. That's a good icebreaker. The more you're on LinkedIn, the more you're going to have these contacts that show up and job interviews, and you're going to know people that know people. That's a good way to break the ice. But you got to be on and engaged for that to happen. Now, where's my man Jeff Arnold? Come on up here. Let's hear it for Jeff Arnold. 4-year starter. And he's getting to be a LinkedIn professional, aren't you?
Something like that. Past week.
So, in the past when?
Past week.
All right, so Jeff and I had a conversation a week ago.
It was
All right.
pitiful.
No, it's all right.
No, the LinkedIn page was
Wait,
pitiful.
Facebook people can hear you.
The LinkedIn page was pitiful.
All right, but do we make good progress?
Big time.
All right, so let's go on Jeff's journey. Right? That sounds like Bachelor or something language. Like, where's my journey, right? Okay, let's go on the journey. Jeff's journey. There he is. Look at Jeff. Before. Now, that photo, right? Come, where are you going? Get on the camera here. They want to see you. Where are you? That was a great photo in the football program to scare Clarion in Edinburgh. And yeah, Slippery Rock, we're coming after you next year. Yeah? And the alumni game's going to play you too. So my man was scary in the program. He's a summer intern. I said, bro, what month is it? He said, February. I said, it's not summer. I said, are you still an intern? He said,
Negative.
all right. And he had 54 connections, but he was on. He was on LinkedIn, all right? That was before. Here comes the after. All right, look at that. If you go on his LinkedIn right now, he has a different photo as of today, right?
3 o'clock today.
3 o'clock today. He's got a background, so that blue thing, he's got a background. Look what it says, though. Look what he did in the past few days. It used to say summer intern. Now it says highly motivated student athlete seeking a financial analyst position. All right? What do you say about that? Give him some applause. Come on. All right? And he had 54 connections now. He's up to 142. But as of this moment, how many?
165, I think.
165. Give it up for him. And that's not all. Jeff and I had 11 mutual connections before, all right, and he had this experience there. Now, we have 22 mutual connections. We have an about section that wasn't on there before, and he put his volunteer experience on there. You think that's important for an employer to know? You weren't just snapping footballs? That's important to know. But you also did some volunteer stuff. Let's give it up for Jeff. Thank you. Good job. He did all that in like 3 days because he buckled down, started sending out requests with a personal note, right? You didn't just hit the request button. You said, hey, I'd love to connect with you. Just a little sentence, right? You all can do that. You all need to do this. I'm not telling you something that's optional. You got to do this, and you have to be involved, and you have to be sending out requests, and I want you to graduate here with 300 connections or more. Now, how many of you guys, like you ballers, you're in the gym, I can make 5 free throws, you can't. Okay, have a LinkedIn contest. All right, I'm going to get to 100 before you do. I'm going to get to 200 before you. Make it a game. You know who you connect with? Everybody you know. Every parent you know, every administrator you know. That's what you do on LinkedIn, all right? We'll talk a little bit more about LinkedIn in a second. All right, so now we've done networking off campus, networking on campus. You got your LinkedIn profile looking good. Now it's time to make the call. You have a list of people you can see. These are people you're going to have interviews with. You want to target certain people. You want to have an interview could be you going to talk to somebody about advice about a career. Tell me how you got to where you got. What would you do if you were my age? Those are good networking meetings, or you could be actually going for interviews and internships. But you have to make the call. Everybody say make the call.
Make the call.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
Thank you. Guys, 100% of the girls you didn't ask on a date are not going out with you. You're done. It's over. The answer, here's my saying, right? I invented this saying. The answer is already no. Girls, guy doesn't ask you out, you're not going. Is that right? Say yes. Yes. See that? Guys, I'm making this simple. All right? Ask and you shall receive. Your joy may be full, Jesus said. You got to ask. You got to make the call. 100% of the interviews you go on, they're not hiring you. 100% of the people you don't ask for a referral, they're not giving you one. Yes?
Yes.
You got to do these things. You got to make the call and smile while you're making the call. Now, Jesus said, watch, I get your attention when I say Jesus. Jesus said, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open. You need to do these things. Ask and you will receive that your joy may be full. All right, last one. Number 10, we got meetings. There's things you need to do pre-meeting, in the meeting, post-meeting. We're going to finish up with this, all right? Let's talk about this. Pre-meeting research. Now, let's just say you met with me, and you say to me, Mr. Henry, where did you go to college? I might have to smack you. Where did you go to college? Did you not do any research at all on me? Right? What you might want to say is, why did you go to IUP? Right? Tell me about that. Why were you a business marketing major? What led you into the financial services industry? How did you start a ministry? Those are great questions to ask. Don't ask me or anybody things you can easily find out on LinkedIn if you do a little bit of research. Right? We had to do research the old-fashioned way back in my day. We had to call and ask somebody that knew that person, tell me about them. Now you just go to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Google search, right? Do the research. Ask smart questions when you meet with somebody, all right? In the meeting, what's this young lady doing? Two very important things. Somebody. Taking notes. Good. What else? Eye contact. How about that smile? Now, when you take notes in a meeting, you are telling the person that you're with, what you say is very important. I want to capture it. You're showing great respect when you take notes in a meeting. Now, some of you are going to whip out your mobile device and take notes, because that's what you guys do, right? I get it. Don't do it. Because some of us 60-year-olds think you're texting somebody, all right, or you're checking your Facebook post. Do it the old-fashioned way if you want to show respect to people that are a little bit older than you. Get a pen, paper, make eye contact, take notes. You can save them later. That shows great respect, shows you're prepared. Have your list of questions written down in advance. That's fine. I'm talking to somebody, they come in my office, they ask me a question, I'm cool with that. That shows me they prepared. All right, we good with this? Thank you. Now, finally, post-meeting. Everything that I learn in a meeting right now to this day, I'm talking to somebody about a financial plan, whatever. I take detailed notes during a meeting, and I then transcribe them all into my customer relation management system, CRM. You got to have one, because you're going to be meeting all these people, asking a lot of questions, going on interviews, and you want to go back in the second time and say, by the way, how'd your little girl do at that dance recital? How'd your son do in his track meet? You want to know those. You're going to forget that stuff if you don't write it down and then review it. Okay? Capture your notes. Secondly, thank you notes. Scotty he's all over that. Those are thank you notes I've gotten from college kids from University of South Carolina, IUP, Waynesburg. When I get a thank you note, I don't need a thank you note, right? But when I get one, you know what I say? That person's on the ball, they're sharp, this is meaningful to them, they're going after it. They took the time to write me a note. And I like when I get a note on college stationery, because it reminds me that you're a student at IUP and that you're seeking something. Okay, so it's a reminder. And when you write the thank you note, even as Scotty said earlier, it's one thing to write a general, hey, thank you, it was a great meeting, I enjoyed meeting you, you're a great person. That's great. Thank you very much for coming to our school. You spoke about 10 keys. I really appreciated when you said about making eye contact and saying their name. Be specific when you write thank you notes. It doesn't have to be a long thing, just a couple specifics that shows them you heard. That will be very impressive. I can tell you several examples of kids that got thank you notes, and the employer told them afterwards, do you know why I hired you? You're the only kid that wrote me a thank you note. The other 3 candidates didn't. You want a tiebreaker? There you go. Okay? This is important stuff. Amen? Amen. Now, habits. On-campus networking, off-campus networking, LinkedIn, make the call, pre-meeting, in the meeting, post-meeting. We're almost done. I got the final 4. Okay? Final 4. It's a full-time job to get a full-time job, ladies and gentlemen. You need to make the effort on LinkedIn, on professors, on talking to your parents' friends, on building your network. It's a full-time job, right? Number 1. Number 2, do you know there's the Career and Professional Development Center in Pratt Hall? I went there today. I've been talking about this place so long. Today I finally said I'm going to go. I met with Kelsey Thompson. She was a graduate student when I met her 6 years ago when I gave my first speech. And she's since now an associate director. Her father played football. How many of you know Bill Thompson? Bill and Dana, good people. That's her daughter. She's killing it at the career service. But guess what she wants to do for you and her team? Individual career coaching. Did you know we had that on IUP on campus? Did you know how to meet potential employers help with resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn tips, Pratt Hall, second floor. They want to see you. Why would you not take advantage of this, right? How many of y'all athletes went to specialized camps when you were in high school? Raise your hand. You played cup soccer, you played some special this, you had workouts, you had, right? Come on.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your camp for your career. Now, how many of you know next Wednesday there's going to be a job fair in this building? How many of you knew that? Okay? 80 employers are going to be there. And they're there because they want to hire people. How many of you are going to go to that job fair? How many of you are going to go now? Get your hand up. Why would you not go to the job fair? Right? 80 employers want to hire you, want to give you internships. And when you go, appearance, dress it up a little bit. Shake hands, smile, have your resume. Don't talk to your friends. Talk to them afterwards. Talk to the employers. That's why they're there. Okay? I asked Kelsey today, I said, how many students will go to the job fair? There's 10,000 students on this campus. She said 300. I'll tell you what, I would be there. And I'd be glad the other 9,700 didn't go. That's more time for me to see each booth. Go! Meet these people. Get your name in the ring. Get their business card. Connect with them on LinkedIn immediately. Thank them for coming to campus. Okay? Number 3. I got 2 more, final fours. Scotty, I'm way over time. I apologize. Can the people that got an hour credit for study hall, can they get 2?
We'll ask their coach.
All right, good. All right, we're almost done. My son, Alex Henry, I want to tell you a story. Very important story for you. 4 or 5 years ago, he was looking for a job, and he was a finance major at Waynesburg. He was a kicker on the football team. Where's my kicker guy? He was you. He was you, except he couldn't hit from 55. Alex, you did good from 43, and you were money. He was 13 to 17 his senior year, first team all conference. Okay, Tort didn't give him a look, so he didn't come here. That's all right. He was a soccer player who converted. Anyways, Alex says, Dad, can you help me? I said, yes. I want you to call Eric Zettelmeyer at Federated Investors. 20 years ago, he was little. Now he's huge. He runs half the country in sales. He's a friend of mine. You call him up, ask him to lunch. I'll let him know you're calling him. You call him. He said, all right. I said, you have 5 smart questions to ask him. And then something very important is going to happen at the end of lunch. Alex, listen to me carefully. Alex, you should be listening right now. Alex, listen to me carefully. When the bill comes for lunch, you take it. You pay for lunch. You invited him here, you pay. He will try to fight you for the bill. He makes more money in 3 minutes than you make all year. You pay for lunch. Yes, Dad, I got it. I got a call 5 minutes after lunch from Eric Zettelmeyer. Phil, your son's a home run. He asked me great questions. We engaged. When the check came, he said, I got this. I said, no, I got it. He goes, every single kid I've ever done that to, they go, okay, well, thank you. He goes, no, absolutely not. I invited you here, I'm paying. He tells the national sales director, I got this, not you. I get a call 5 minutes after lunch from Eric Zettelmeyer, loved your son, we're going to hire him. You people are going to invite people to lunch, coffee, you pay. That's a statement. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last thing. Seek God's help for your career and for your life. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him. And what's He going to do? Direct your path. How'd you like to have your path directed by God? Doors open for you that are supposed to be open. Doors close that are supposed to be closed. God will do that for you when you seek Him. When you worship Him, when you love Him, when you're in the Word every day, when you have a rich prayer life, when you're trying to help other people, God will direct your path. Finally, humble yourself, 1 Peter 5, under the mighty hand of God, and He will exalt you at the proper time. Amen. You guys have been fabulous. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions. We're going to close the meeting out. But I want to thank you for being here. You show me great respect, great attention. I thank you. I hope you learned something. Did you get a couple things out of tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Scotty, thanks for having me. Good.